So it took place on February 24th, 1803. So it was like a really long time ago, really old. And it took place in the U.S. Supreme Court, which is like this thing. And so basically a summary of it is this. So in the Madison versus Marbury case, President John Adams appointed William Marbury to be the Justice of Peace. But James Madison, the Secretary of State, did not allow him to until Thomas Jefferson continued his position in the office. So I think the outcome of it was like, I don't think I added it in this, but I think it said like wait, I don't remember.
Did they let him in or not?
I think it was like a compromise. Like,
Okay.
I thought like, I don't know, but maybe like, I think when Thomas Jefferson came back, they like figured it out with him maybe, but yeah. For reading.
All right, good job.
1924, Congress passed the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Application Act, which technically implemented a ban on TikTok. And on May 7, 2024, ByteDance, TikTok, and a cluster of creators on TikTok challenged the ban in the District of Columbia Circuit Court of Appeals. And their argument was that the law violates TikTok's and its users' First Amendment rights, and unfairly singling out a single platform for adverse treatment violates the Fifth Amendment. And then the government defended its effort to ban TikTok by voicing concerns that ByteDance may be directed by the Chinese government headquartered in China, which might cause TikTok to demand access to sensitive data owned by Americans. And on December 6, 2024, the D.C. Circuit upheld the law. And on December 16, 2024, ByteDance, TikTok, and the creators filed emergency applications for a temporary injunction with the Supreme Court. And then on December 18th, the Supreme Court set an expedited schedule following multiple amicus briefs that were filed. ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, and its partners explained in their amicus briefs that under the First Amendment, all people have the right to speak freely and to receive information from others, and banning an entire communications platform used by millions of Americans would mean that the government thinks that serious harm could occur if TikTok was not banned. However, the government never put forward actual evidence upon that could be impending, only speculation about what might occur. ACLU urged the court to protect the First Amendment rights of 170 million and more Americans and to strike down the ban on TikTok. On January 10, 2025, oral arguments from the Supreme Court entered the case, and the court upheld the ban on January 17, finding the law to be neutral for content because they subjected the ban to intermediate scrutiny standard. The law targeted TikTok due to a foreign adversary's control over the company. After evaluating the law under this standard, the court decided that the law would be altered to further a government interest, and the law does not burden more speech than necessary to reach its goal.
The law school of the University of Missouri was an all-white school. They had to provide in-state education for black people too, so they could solve this by allowing black people to attend inside the school or building a second school for them. The university refused entry by Gaines, which was a black person, because at the time no black students could attend any law school in the state. Gaines sued, decided by NAACP, the school, because he was saying that the 14th Amendment granted them the right to enroll there. The trial was in Columbia, Missouri, but in the end, even though the NAACP first won against the Supreme, Court ruled for Gaines and told Missouri to review the case again, and Gaines disappeared. When the University of Missouri later asked to cancel the case, the NAACP didn't argue against it.
Interesting. Very